Hostilities in the Gaza Strip and Israel. Day 76. Following a shutdown of telecommunications and internet services in Gaza on 20 December, a partial restoration of services was achieved in the southern and central parts of the Gaza Strip on 21 December at about 2040. On 22 December, heavy Israel bombardments from air, land, and sea continued across most of the Gaza Strip. Except for Rafah, intense ground operations and fighting between Israel forces and Palestinian armed groups continue in most areas. The firing of rockets by Palestinian armed groups into Israel also continued. Between 18 and 20 December, 390 Palestinians were reportedly killed and another 734 people were injured, according to the Ministry of Health (MOH) in Gaza. According to the MOH in Gaza, between 7 October and 22 December, at least 20,057 Palestinians were killed in Gaza. About 70% of those killed are said to be women and children. As of then, 53,320 Palestinians have been injured. Many people are missing, presumably buried under the rubble, waiting for secure or recovery. On 22 December, the UN Secretary General stated there is no effective protection of civilians in the Gaza Strip as intense Israel bombardments and ground operations continue. On 21 and 22 December, 2 Israeli soldiers were reportedly killed in Gaza. Since the start of the ground operations, 140 soldiers have been killed in Gaza and 784 soldiers have been injured, according to the Israeli military. On 22 December, the Israeli military designated a new area covering about 50%, approximately 9 square kilometers of the Middle Area Governorate for evacuation. The area was marked in an online map published on social media. Prior to the onset of hostilities, this area was home to nearly 90,000 people. The area also includes 6 shelters that accommodated about 61,000 internally displaced persons, the vast majority of whom were previously displaced from the north. The chief economist of the World Food Programme, WFP, noted that the scale and speed of the unfolding acute food insecurity situation in Gaza, observed over just 2 months, are unprecedented in their severity. The entire population in the Gaza Strip faces an imminent risk of famine, according to the latest estimates from the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification (IPC) Global Partnership on 21 December. The proportion of households affected by acute food insecurity is the largest ever recorded globally, according to IPC report. The Famine Review Committee (FRC) activated due to evidence surpassing the acute food insecurity phase 1 catastrophic threshold in the Gaza Strip, warns that the risk of famine increases daily amid intense conflict and restricted humanitarian access. The committee added that to eliminate the famine risk, it's imperative to halt the deterioration of health, nutrition, food security, and mortality through the restoration of health and WASH services. The cessation of hostilities and the restoration of humanitarian space for delivering multi-sectoral assistance are vital first steps to eliminate any risk of famine. On 22 December, the UN Security Council passed Resolution 2722 on expanding the immediate, safe, and unhindered delivery of humanitarian assistance at scale into Gaza. The UN Secretary General emphasized that evaluating the effectiveness of the humanitarian aid operation in Gaza should not solely rely on the number of trucks entering the enclave. The real problem is that the way Israel is conducting its offensive is creating massive obstacles to the distribution of humanitarian aid inside Gaza, he said. An effective aid operation in Gaza requires security, staff who can work in safety, logistical capacity, and the resumption of commercial activity. These 4 elements do not exist, the Secretary General concluded, urging Israel to take measures that would remove barriers in the way of aid distribution. On 22 December, 69 trucks carrying supplies and 5 ambulances entered Gaza through Rafah crossing and 23 trucks entered through Kerem Shalom crossing. This remains well below the daily average of 500 truckloads, including fuel and private sector goods, that entered every working day prior to 7 October. Stay tuned to our channel for the latest news about hostilities in the Gaza Strip and Israel.